And thanks for joining us for another edition of Weekend Winners, proudly brought to you by 1Equine. For the equine athlete, we go back to Albion Park Saturday night, 9 races, feature racing as well. The highlight is going to be race number 6, the 2024 Our Over and Over Trotters Marathon, named after that great trotter. He won over 50 races Our Over and Over for Grant, Trista Dixon and owner Greg Mitchell, and they honour him with this Trotters Marathon each year, and this has drawn together a strong field. Unfortunately, we've got an early scratching. Defensive guy, one of the major players, has come out, so a little disappointing there, but we've got the recent Jim McNeil winner backing up there, Gus, and he takes on the likes of Adele, Scruffy Doolan and others. So that's going to be the highlight, race number 6. In this edition of Weekend Winners, we're going to chat with Shane Graham and one of the new rising stars here in Queensland, Nathan Rothwell. Shane Graham joins us to go through his drives on Saturday night at the Creek, and he's in the hot seat now. Shane, appreciate the time.
No problems, Chris.
Did you get any feedback for your drive last week on Turn It Up? Out in front, going as slow as possible, but he got the verdict, so that's all that matters, right?
Yes, exactly. Just, win the race and worry about the rest later, isn't it?
All right. Well, let's focus on Saturday night. Euro beat your first drive. This is your first time sitting behind this runner for Jack Butler. He draws nicely. Any sort of expectations?
Yeah, look, I think he's one of them horses that's always around the mark. He, from the good draws, probably a help, and I'm sure, Jack's team normally are pretty consistent, so if he gets some sort of tripper, he'll be thereabouts, you'd say.
You're sandwiched in between two good beginners. The Tax Collector, you're on your inside, Pacifico Dream to your outside, so it looks like there's going to be a genuine tempo here.
Yeah, that's right, and he should be able to, posse up in the first half of the field, which, at Albion Park, if they go fast, it's a help, and if they go slow, it's a help. So, no, it looks as good a draw as you could ask, I'd say.
All right, race number 3, Smirks Like a Boss for Sean and Michelle Grims. He comes up with barrier 4. Would it be fair to say it's a sticky draw?
Yeah, it's sort of probably, 1 would have been perfect, but 4, you're just there in the middle. I think he's got enough gate speed without being brilliant, but it's a bit of a tricky draw, that one.
Okay, last time out, he was towards the rear of the field. You drove him. Any excuses there?
No, look, he went good, probably just the way the race was run, I think if you look back probably on the clock, he was as good as he can be, So, look, he was all right, but he's just one of them horses like a lot, they just need to be the right place at the right time.
Okay, his overall record's good, 10 from 40, so it's a 1 in 4 strike rate. Is he the type of horse that is going to win a quali on a Saturday night at Albion Park?
Yeah, I think he will, He's, like you said, he's quite consistent, but just needs that right trip. But, I think he's sort of got enough ability where he will win a Saturday night race.
Okay, so as far as this Saturday night is concerned, it's all up to you. You've got to find the right spot and quickly for him to be a threat at the finish.
That's right.
All right, pressure's on there with Smirks Like a Boss. Race number 4, we'll look at the replay of this guy winning last week, Glover. He dropped back in grade. You opted for the concession claim. Paige Bevan drove, and he was just far too good there last week. Have you worked him out yet, Shane? Like, what's his best racing pattern? Is he a leader? Is he a follower? Or is he a horse that can chair up and do work?
Yeah, look, he's chaired up a couple of times, and, obviously last week he went good chairing up, and I think one other time he chaired up in a 51 or a 52 and he went terrific. So, look, he's won from every position, but, probably his best racing pattern is with one run-them, but... it's like at Albion, when you draw, you got to make the most of it. So that's what we've sort of done with him. But with that scratching and that, Saturday night looks a good draw for him now.
Okay, is he a confidence-type horse? Does he take confidence from a victory like he delivered last week?
Yeah, look, he's probably, he is and he isn't. Probably the only disappointing run he's done was 2 starts back, and, I think he... just had a bit of an off night that night, but other than that, he's pretty consistent, and most weeks he does his best.
All right, so Saturday night, importantly, there is that early scratching of Much Better. So you're drawn to follow out behind Miss Mucho, who does possess early speed. In a way, it works out really well with that scratching now for you.
Oh, it does, especially over mile racing, going from barrier 10 to barrier 9, especially behind a speed horse, it makes a big difference. So, he should be able to posse up nice and handy this week.
Okay, and looking at that front row, you're going to get early speed. Miss Mucho, Key Largo, always smoking. Surely they all run the gate early.
Yeah, that's right. You know, it looks like it'll be a good tempo early, and you know, that's what we hope they just go as hard as they can for as long as they can.
Okay, race number 5. This is the Q-Bred pace. Not a bad lineup here as well. You're driving Carter Grant. He brings good Redcliffe form to Albion Park. He's a capable type. Is this a bridge too far though?
Oh, look, it's sort of, he's one of them horses. I think last time he raced in one of these races, he might have run midfield, but it was quite a good run, you know. And I think he probably is going a little bit better than what he how he performed that night. So, you know, he's sort of like a little minor chance there.
Okay, what do you do from gate 3?
Look, he's probably, you know, bit like the other horses, Sean's. He's got enough gate speed, but it's just one of those. We'll just have to weigh it up and see where we are early.
Okay, do you prefer him at a mile or Saturday night's trip, 2,138 metres?
Yeah, I don't think really distance worries him, you know, probably 21. You know, I don't know if I've driven him over the 21, but he feels to me like distance isn't a worry for him.
Okay. He's always had that sort of little bit of a rap on him. He was quite okay as a juvenile. Do you think he's still going to get through the grades no problem?
Yeah, I think so. You know, like every time he's had a bit of a spell and that, he's come back a little bit better. And you know, yeah, his last 2 wins at Redcliffe have been quite good. So yeah, look, I think he's still on the up anyway.
Okay. Race 6, the feature this weekend, the Hour Over and Over Trotters Marathon. You've picked up the drive here on Tam O'Shanter. Early scratching, important early scratching. His stablemate defensive guy comes out. Tam O'Shanter was first up. You beat him with Majestic Lavros last Saturday night, so you saw plenty of him. He was good last week, Tam O'Shanter.
Yeah, he was. He was terrific. You know, he set the speed up and, you know, rolled along, and we only just got him the last 100. So he was, yeah, he was very brave last week. So, yeah, probably I don't know what he's like over the distance, but yeah, look, he seems to be in form and going well.
It's an odd one in many ways. So there he was last week, blazing the trail out in front at a mile, 56.1, not to be sneezed at. Second up, he's up to 2 miles, so it's a bit of a stretch for him.
Yeah, well, you know, it's probably one thing that I think they're all in the same boat, so he won't be the only one out there.
Okay, so he starts off the front, albeit that he's got that wide draw there. What about the handicap runners, Gus, Scruffy Dool and Adele? Are they too close to those off the front line, in your opinion?
Yeah, probably, you know, just over the trip, they're the class runners, and, you know, I don't think the handicap sort of really makes much of a difference in these races when you're going over that distance, and yeah, they're the class runners, so they're definitely going to be the ones to beat.
Okay, but if you ping him away and he can set up the speed in front, he'll give him something to chase?
Yeah, I'd say so, you know, like he's racing well, and, you know, or I guess just how good he runs out the trip.
All right. Race number 7, this race for the open class performers, standing start conditions again here. You've got the 3 runners, Rock Bottom, LL Cool J, Send It. You're opting to drive LL Cool J. Who had the choice here?
Yeah, look, it's sort of just one of those things, you know. Kel, she's sort of been driving Send It when I've driven Turn It Up, so she sort of stays with him, and Leonard, he sort of drives Rock Bottom when we've got those runners. So, yeah, Cool J I sort of drive too, so yeah, it all just fell into place really.
All right. Is Send It the pick of your trio though?
I think so. He's probably, you know, the class one of them. You know, even still he's off 20, you know, but he's been racing well lately, so he's probably the pick of them.
All right. Just on LL Cool J, we know he loves the stand. He's a previous Redcliffe Cup winner, so that's not going to be an issue. Are you expecting better from him this weekend?
Yeah, look, he was last start he was ordinary and pulled up with he was a bit crook and did take a little bit to get over it. So he's first up, but yeah, look, he's not at his best yet, but he'll still race well.
Okay, there was no thought of a trial before this race?
No, not when you're sort of like, you know, an old horse like him. You don't really get much out of a trial, really. You might as well just go around, and he loves the sand starts, so, you know, that's... yeah, he won't be too far off.
Okay, race 8 again for the mares here. You've got the 2 runners, Madam Maggie and Diamond Bikini. Was this an easy choice as far as which one you were driving?
Yeah, no, like it probably barrier draw. Madam Maggie's got the better draw, but yeah, just sort of probably on that. But they're both racing well. Madam Maggie's probably, you know, not far off a win, and Diamond Bikini, she went quite well, even though beaten a little bit last week. So yeah, they both can't win it, but I'm sure whoever gets a good trip will be there.
Okay, so they're both coming out of that invitational race last week. Just with Madam Maggie, you would have been pleased with the way she found the line.
Yeah, she was. She looks like she lacks a little bit of high speed about her, but what she lacks there, she makes up for in effort. She puts in 110%, and both starts now up here, she has hit the line well. So yeah, look, she shouldn't be too far off on Saturday.
Okay, and just looking back there, Diamond Bikini, she was forced deep there at the home turn, but she kept finding the line.
Yeah, I thought that was probably one of her better runs. You know, for what she has done for us up here. Even though she got beat, but I was happy with how wide she was and how she found the line. So Chloe drove her last week and she went good, and Kel this week. So I'm hoping it might be she might like the females.
Okay, are you confident both mares will win one of these qualies in time?
Yeah, they both will. It's just they're very, very even bunch, the mares races, and they'll just have to wait their turn.
All right, the last race on Saturday night, this is another race for the mares. This is the Band 5 race, just the field of 7 over the mile. Sister Bliss is your runner here, drawn in gate 4. She's fresh up. We haven't seen her since January now, so what are the expectations fresh?
Yeah, look, she won't be too far off. She's working well on that, and whatever she does Saturday night, she'll definitely improve on. But I think I'm hoping this time in she'll go a little bit better than last time. I've always sort of thought she's a little bit better than what she showed, so I'm just hoping after a little freshen up, she'll come back a bit better again.
Okay, she was good winning 2 starts ago. Did she obviously give you signs that she'd trained off with that last start effort?
Yeah, just the last start, I thought she was a bit plain, and just the whole stable had a little bug go through them there and she was one of the early ones, so we just sort of backed off her and gave her a little bit of time off, and we'll just go again with her.
All right, so out of all of your drives, which one are you most looking forward to?
Look, probably Glover. He's sort of he raced well last week, and with that good trail and draw, hopefully he'll be up nice and handy.
Okay, but send it your best chance of the weekend?
Yeah, I think so. It is a bit hard off the 20 metres, but he's, if he's close enough and they run along genuine, he should be able to get home well.
Awesome. Hey, really appreciate the time. We'll see you trackside.
No worries. Thanks, Chris.
One of the young rising stars here in Queensland is Nathan Rothwell, fresh off victory last Saturday night with his own mare player Blanca. He heads to the creek on Saturday night for 2 drives, and he joins us now. He's in the hot seat. Nathan, appreciate the time.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks for having me.
Storm Tide is your first drive here on Saturday night. Race 2, number 8. That's the inside of the second row. That looks an ideal draw for him on paper.
Yeah, I think it's a good draw for him. Obviously, if he repeats the dose like he did on Tuesday, he'll be right in it, and hopefully the one holds up, and that'll help his chances for sure.
All right, just going back to Tuesday, we'll look at the replay from that day, and he never looked like he was going to get beaten there. He was so strong, 52.8, just outside of his PB, 52.4, and he was strong through the line. He must have given you a great feel there on the afternoon.
Yeah, super strong to the line. He was just strong the whole race. Felt like he had plenty left, so all good going forward.
All right, so this race here on Saturday night, drawn the inside of the second row, you got the Tax Collector in 1, the horse you're following out, good gate speed horse. Pacifico Dream also has good gate speed in 3. Obviously, you want the 1 to hold up and lead here.
Yeah, definitely. If the 1 holds up and leads, well, it makes it easier for me, that's for sure. But, if he does get buried through fence, he'll be looking probably for gaps late. But, either way, obviously, if the 1 holds up, it definitely helps out.
Yeah, no doubt about that. But as you said, being 3 fence, not a bad spot, because it looks guaranteed there's going to be a good, genuine tempo in this race.
Yeah, for sure, Chris. Definitely.
Okay. Well, that's Storm Tide. Donnie and Maureen Smith, you drive for them often. They do a great job with their team.
Yeah, definitely. They do a great job. They've been giving me plenty of opportunities, which is great.
All right. Your other drive on Saturday night is Windy Hill Wally. Here's another stable that are big fans of yours, and that's Jack and Tara Butler. Barrier 1, is that perfect for him this weekend?
It probably is the right barrier for him. It just depends how much gate speed he shows. He usually shows a bit more gate speed over the longer journey. The 2100 starts, so the mile start is pretty slow, so it just depends really where he ends up in the run, but he'll be probing for gaps either way late, so look, the horse is going good enough, just probably hasn't really had luck go his way his last few.
Okay, so can you just expand on that a little more? He can leave the gate well at the 2100, but not so much at the mile.
Yeah, it's just a mental thing, I think, for him. He actually does show quite a bit of gate speed over the extra journey, but over the mile, for whatever reason, he just doesn't seem to get out, which is a bit frustrating. But yeah, you know, we'll just work with him.
Do you have you driven other horses that are a bit like that?
Not really. Maybe a couple, but yeah, he definitely tops them.
Okay, and looking at this front row, there's plenty of speed to your outside. Miss Mucho can run the arm key. Largo's fast off the gate, always smoking last start winner, likely to go forward. So there's going to be some early heat here.
Definitely, yeah. There's definitely options with horses to hand up to. So you know, hopefully he ends up behind the leader. But yeah, you obviously need to show enough speed.
All right. He had that real purple patch of form. Is he still sort of going at that level, or has he just dropped a little bit in your opinion?
I still think he's not far off that. Look, he's obviously stepped up in grade, probably his last 5, so it's understandable to see his form sort of taper off a little bit. But look, he just probably hasn't really had enough luck his last sort of 5 starts, and if he can end up in the right spot and get a gap late, well, you know, I think he'll show his best form again.
Yeah, he's been a ripper since coming to Queensland. He's knocked up winning so many races, and he's been a good horse for you. You've had good success with him previously.
Yeah, he sure has. He's a lovely horse. He's real consistent, and he seems like he's gradually getting better. So, yeah, he's a lovely horse.
All right, so you're on the pegs either way there on Saturday night. Storm Tide inside of the second row, and gate 1 there with Windy Hill Wally. Which one's the pick of the 2 drives then?
I'd have to say Storm Tide after that Tuesday run. Yeah, he was just super strong the whole way through that race. So, yeah.
All right, Storm Tide it is. Are you happy with the form? Are you happy with the way 2024 has started?
Definitely, yeah. Couldn't be happier. Already notched up 21 wins, I think, for the season. So, look, at the start of the year, definitely wouldn't have thought I'd be in this spot. So, yeah. Couldn't be happier.
All right. And with your mare, Player Blanca, she was awesome last week. Where do we see her next?
She's in this Friday. She's drawn 10, so you know, there's a few options in that race. But yeah, the mare's open races haven't been standing up every week, so that's a bit of a shame. But whenever they stand up, she'll be going around Saturdays.
All right. Well, it's been a fast start for 2024. Let's hope that good form continues. Best of luck with the 2 drives Saturday night. We'll see you trackside.
Thanks, Chris.
As always, a big thanks to both drivers, Shane Graham and Nathan Rothwell, giving up their time and insights ahead of Saturday night's racing. So we've got a 9-event card on Saturday night. We kick off at 5:03. As far as the best bet is concerned, I like the stand start race and I like Send It. He's absolutely flying, this horse, more than competitive in recent times in the free-for-alls, taking on the likes of Turn It Up, Manila Playboy and Deus Ex. Here he is back in grade, standing start conditions albeit, but he's only got to get away cleanly and he puts this field away. So marking him as the best bet, race 7, number 8, Send It. Hopefully we'll get the cash with him. As I said, 9 races, 5:03 start time. We'll see you trackside at the Creek this weekend.